If somebody only earns 5,000 Rand a month, let's do absolute basics. Let's assume that's how much comes in. What would you advise they do with that money? And let's assume the person must travel to work and that they also have to contribute at home.
Okay, so I think let's start off with a disclaimer. This is not financial advice.
Yes.
It is purely for educational purposes, right? Look, I think the first thing one needs to do is a budget. And as much as everybody hates to hear that answer, that's the reality of life, is that you need, same way you go to a supermarket with a grocery list, you need to have a clear picture of where your money is going and how you're going to allocate it. I always teach the apple theory, and it's a very childish theory, but it works. So if you take that 5,000 and you divide it by 10, you're going to get, okay, 5,000 divided by 10?
It's 500 Rand.
Okay, so 500 Rand needs to be allocated to the areas of your life that are part of you running your life.
Yes.
So groceries, living expenses, school fees, transport, contributing at home. And the contributing at home is very important because it must be a conversation you have prior to you needing to contribute. Or in the middle of the month where everybody's still happy and nobody's disgruntled. Because it's a very difficult conversation to have when everybody's now frustrated and, everybody is like expecting something from.
And there's no month
and
left.
There's no money.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Right. So in some instances it might not be 500, it might be 1,000 Rand.
Yes.
So it's the 8 apples that you are allowed to spend on your living expenses. The 2 apples are holier than thou. Apple number 1 needs to go into the deep freezer. This is now savings, right? This is going to be your emergency savings. If you find yourself in a situation where you need 9 apples in the next month, you're going to open the freezer and you're going to find an apple. Because if you go next door to Relebogile to borrow an apple, Relebogile can charge you interest. Now, if you charge interest and you use, basically, if she charges you interest, that means you're using a credit facility. That means that you're turning that apple into a future liability. It means now, you've made a decision that I need more than 8 apples every single month. I need 8.5, which means you're going to start eating away at these 2. So you're going to eat away at the savings. The next one is outside, underground. We're planting this, and this is your investments.
Yes.
Right? So you're gonna have to invest. Now, it sounds very difficult when you're earning only 5,000 Rand. My thing is, don't look at the amounts, look at the principle. Forget the amount.
So even if you start with 10 Rand.
10 Rand.
Just start.
10 Rands.
Yes.
On that platform, I don't want to say it because obviously it's free advertising. There's a platform where you can buy fractional shares in this country, right? There are savings accounts where you can throw in that 10 Rand. What we want is the principle and the culture to become ingrained in you so that when you start earning more money, it becomes a no-brainer for you to do that.